Okay, last night in Romblon.
Hello! So may bago dito sa Romblon, sa Odiongan. And this is exactly where I used to go during my childhood. And maganda, may boardwalk na. So may mga food stalls dito. So ang una namin tinignan dito is to buy balot. Balot pala, balot. Tsaka tinuturuan kasi natin si Julia. It's her first time culturing her.
Culturing ching.
Let's open this one. How do I open this? Should I bite it na lang, Mom? Should I bite it, Mom? Oo, bite mo na lang.
Oh, shoot.
The way to do it, bite it. Hindi kinakain kasi matigas eh.
Hindi, joke lang. Pwede mong hindi kainin. Pwede mong kainin.
Oh, God.
Pero matigas kasi yan.
It's too late. I don't wanna look.
Ano sugar? Balot. And we ordered order kay milk tea. Order kami ng kape. Tinga, hi daw.
How's it so far, Chuch?
Even the salt.
Ito na
There, that explains it. That's one.
Ito nag-hi na Hi daw.
Kasi, Mom?
Oh, hi!
Hi!
Yeah, look at mine. I bit it nga eh.
Yun na yung ano, yun na yung ulo.
Ayun oh. Oh, it's small nga, she said. Ayun oh, I can barely see it.
Don't talk about it.
I can barely see it, Mom.
Sige, man.
Okay. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oy, sali na kanina eh. Nagugutom na eh, magtap.
So after 3.5 vlogs, we hope that we have been able to at least give you a glimpse of what it is to expect when you're in Romblon. And not just that, hopefully we're able to inspire you to be able to plan towards your own trip. Because for us, we would love to do this once again, even in a heartbeat. There have been so many learnings, so many fun experiences, memorable experiences as well, That's why for us, Romblon definitely would be worth it. But next time that we would be doing it, we know that we would be able to do it better because from this trip, there have been so much learning, so much lessons as well. And of course, as the master planner of this trip, I know Leigh has had a lot of things that she would probably share with you. What are those things nga ba, madam?
I think for me, siguro it's not just so much about the things to improve because there are many things that are not available really in certain places when you travel. Like for example, if you compare, let's say, world-renowned top destination Boracay to Romblon, for example, then certainly there are many things that you cannot find in
It's
Romblon.
totally different.
It's totally different, but
certain ways.
just the same in a way if you are really looking for beautiful beaches, the quiet island life. It's very comparable because of the white beaches, pristine sand and water, clear waters. There's a lot of sea creatures as well. It's really fun, but I guess for me, you just have to be ready as a family. First and foremost, also to know your budget. No? That's one of the things because, of course, when traveling, you need to prepare your budget so that when you get into travel, you're not one to say, oh, let's not do this, let's not do that, or we can't do that, we can't do this. Parang it defeats the purpose of traveling.
You want to have a sense of liberty to be able to enjoy while you're on vacation.
Right. So that really, entails planning. So for our trip, we really wanted to make it memorable. And so we decided to go via ferry. You can also take the plane. It's definitely much more expensive, but it will take you there faster from Manila. Siguro it'll take you about 45 minutes to be in Romblon.
If you combine the travel time going back and forth, it saves you a day.
Yes,
Right,
basically it saves you a day. But if you are saving money, because in this case, the priority for our travel is to be with our extended family. Meaning, I really want to travel with my parents and then my brothers and his family and their families, basically their children. So you can imagine a lot of people coming along. So, if you plan for a trip like that, like I think we're about close to 20 people.
20, yeah.
And then including some of my cousins as well and
Yeah.
nieces that came to the trip, which made it more fun. We're beyond 20. So it takes a lot of planning for that. And so we definitely considered riding the ferry. Kasi compared to the plane, I think
No comparison.
Yeah, no comparison.
Yeah.
7,000 per head for plane. Well, the ferry is
That's
about
for everybody already.
yeah,
for us.
for everybody, for our
Yeah.
family. So 1,000 per head for the ferry. So in a way, when you're planning, like for me, of course, you need to consider the budget for that one. So it's always connected to how your family would enjoy. What can you give up so that you can finally give up, you can finally enjoy something like this. For me, that's very important. And then another thing for me, that I've seen and I truly enjoy is that with Romblon, it's not really commercialized.
Yeah.
Of course, there's pros and cons to that.
Super.
Like you won't be able to find your 5-star, 4-star hotels compared to other beaches worldwide. But just the same, you can find places to stay here, like maybe 2-star, 3-star hotel, like Highland Resort, for example, which also is very cost friendly, right? I mean, very cost friendly. It's by the beachfront, so that in a sense for us. You have to know what you're looking for. And for us, spending time with family, having a decent place to stay,
Yeah.
The privacy as well of being in an island. Because in other islands that are world-renowned, of course, there's a lot of people there, a lot of partying.
It's crowded.
It's very crowded.
Noisy.
But here, you see, it's really unspoiled.
It's like you're part of the barrio,
Yes.
right?
You're living like a local.
Yeah.
Which is, for us, it's something that we're always looking forward to. Like,
immerse yourself in the culture, immerse
Yeah.
yourself in the town life. I mean, I think that's something that just money can't buy.
exactly. And so connecting to that, like we were also very fortunate. Of course, Romblon, it's the hometown of my dad. And we have many relatives there. I went there when I was a kid. But I think the beautiful thing about that as well is that a local, one of our relatives, accommodated us in a way where, they would prepare our meals.
Yeah.
We just have to pay them, prepare the meals by the beach, lunch and dinner. So it saved us a lot of money. to feed a lot of people, like feeding a tribe, instead of looking for restaurants, every lunch and dinner. And so we could easily have our lunch and dinner by the beach, like the boodle fight that you saw in there. That's so enjoyable. So yeah, I mean, you can always connect traveling with enjoyment with family, but not just your immediate family. Maybe you can step in much further and consider, kasi, Philippine culture, you really have extended family. Like,
Yeah.
You're close to your cousins, your titas, your lolas, your titas, children.
Or your tita's cousin, the brother of the sister of your mom.
Yeah, to the
Right.
fifth level affinity, ganon. So that's the Philippines for you. And so it was really fun. And so I think for me, the most difficult part was really getting the schedule of everyone.
Because we have a big
Because we have a big group.
Yeah, yeah.
And so some of our kids are in college, some are in high school, grade school, we're working. And so, you have to find really a common time. And there will be sacrifices made. Like maybe may one absent, may one day na may absent, I mean, those things, you just have to give up even for just a day. I mean, in terms of parenting, that's how we are, because to us, traveling and spending time together is really very important.
Yep. So, in line with that, in line with what Leigh was sharing just a few moments ago, I think it was very, very helpful for us, the fact that we were connected to certain locals. There were, I think, a couple of instances. By the way, this is Cinnamon Roll.
Hi, Cinema Roll.
This is Monique's best friend. Hi, this is Cinnamon Roll. Okay. So, Cinnamon Roll wasn't able to go with us to Romblon. She wasn't
wasn't
part
there
of the
yet.
family yet. Okay.
Yeah.
But having said that, having extended family in Romblon, or the locals there in Romblon, having that connection allowed us to be able to make certain decisions that we would not otherwise have made. Like, for example, I'll give you an example. Our trip to Bonbon almost got canceled because the online portals told us that the number of trips that were going to Bonbon, to Romblon Island that day, were so limited that we would not be able to avail of it. But the locals, aka our relatives, knew that there were certain
Schedules.
services, yes, certain shipping lines or whatever, or the ferries that go back and forth. They know the regular schedules. They know it better than what's advertised. So they told us, no. We can push through. We're sure that there are ferries going back and forth the islands, and so we can push through. And we're glad that we did, because as you have seen, in our, was that the second vlog?
Yeah.
Bonbon.
Yeah.
I mean, Bonbon was so majestic.
It's amazing.
I mean, I'd go there again anytime. There, so for me, that is very important, because the locals know their land.
So the locals will make your dream come true.
Yeah, basically. I mean, for us, that's one tick off the bucket list. And also, when you know the lay of the land the way that locals do, I mean, you don't know where they might be able to take you. Hidden gems that YouTubers probably don't know. Spots that have yet to be discovered. You might be the one that would popularize it. You never know. Because when we were there, our hosts had several places that they wanted us to visit. They said that this is nice, this is good, it's really nice there, you cannot miss this, you cannot miss that. It's just that, of course, our itinerary was so limited, our time was so limited, that we just decided to skip a lot of those. But I don't know about you, but maybe you guys have a whole week, to enjoy in Tablas Island or Romblon Island. We weren't even able to go to, what's the third island?
Sibuyan.
Sibuyan Island, which I hear is like a whole island paradise. So I guess that is such good lessons for me to be able to make my next trip worthwhile.
Yeah, I guess another thing is that also, if you're planning to this trip to go via ferry, and ito na naman ako, via ferry.
I think you've heard this time and again, but
Yeah.
that's why it impacted us so much.
Yeah, is that you also ought to study the vessels or the shipping lines that you want to ride in. Like, for example, in our case, we decided to go via To Go because we've seen that the To Go vessels were
relatively new compared to the other vessels, and that it was bigger. And true enough, it was really newer. And I think the beauty about us riding that vessel was that we didn't feel that we were traveling by
Yeah.
a sea.
Actually, we had left the port already half an hour, and they were inside the cabin thinking, "What time are we gonna leave?" So I went out and realized the land could no longer be seen. We were already moving, and they said it had been half an hour already. So I came back, told them, "You know what? We're no longer anchored. We're moving already," and they did not even feel it.
So if you have motion sickness, you don't have to worry about it. Seasickness, you don't have to worry about it because the vessel is big.
And I guess that's why this is a recurring theme for us, because there's a lot in our group that has motion sickness. I'm the biggest, I guess, example of that, literally.
Yeah.
So for us, it's something that we took note of, because coming back home, when we took the other shipping lines,
Yeah, it's called Montenegro.
Montenegro,
So
which had a
the-
smaller
yeah.
ship, but it's still quite a big ship.
Yeah.
But compared to go, the Montenegro ship, the boat really made the waves felt.
We were passing through a certain
Oh, gosh.
part of the sea, and you can literally feel like you were in a turbulence because
Turbulence.
the vessel was really sailing so
it's
fast.
like it was hammering the
Going against
the
the
waves
waves,
head
yeah.
on, right?
So I think the beauty about this is that we had left just in time for sleeping, and so more or less people are
Asleep.
and so if you're a heavy sleeper, you wouldn't mind that, but if you're a
Yeah.
light sleeper like me, you won't be able to sleep through that. So yeah, those are some of the things that for me, as you travel, as you plan and to make it a reality for you and your family, just take the time to study, to search websites, look for reviews, and maybe ask the locals. Find that Facebook friend who actually lives in that part of the
Yeah,
Philippines, or wherever
right.
it is that you want to go.
Well, as we wrap up this vlog, I hope that you guys enjoyed this series. And there's a next one coming. Now, it has a different flavor to it.
Very
We go
different.
from the island to the city at that. So you guys gotta watch out for that. But I want to close this vlog, just by encouraging you just to live with intentionality. Live intentional, plan ahead. Those dreams in your heart, they're not put there for no reason. They're there on purpose, on point, to be able to add color to your days. So don't put it off. Plan towards it. God knows what He's doing with your life. When you do that, when you step out, those around you benefit from it as well. Whether they experience it with you or they experience it through you. Because you've gone there, you've experienced, now you can impart to them, and next time probably invite them to come along, and they probably won't say no. Having said all of that, I hope that you guys have learned a thing or two in this series, and hopefully inspire you to step out and make your own trip to Romblon.
Yeah.
It is beautiful.
I just want to say this, in all your planning, you can trust your heart because God will give you both the desire and the ability to fulfill that desire in your heart. So if you think that traveling is very luxurious or it's a waste of money, you have to spend for more of your needs, have a second thought about that, because for us as a family, it's really an investment for us as a family. We get to enjoy new things, experience things together, and at the end of the day, you've spent money, yes, most definitely, but at the end of the day, you created a stronger bond for your family. So trust your heart about that. Go for it.
Go for it. So as we have said time and again, don't let life dictate your schedules. Instead, you dictate the life that you want to live. So much that God has put in your heart, go on and live it out. With that, we wrap up this series. We'll see you in the next adventure with Team the Armas.
Bye.